I met a lady today that ended up tap dancing on my very last nerve. Most people realize that their relationships are falling apart, but the woman I met today not only had decided to leave the marriage, but also decided to make sure to hurt her husband on the way out.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Alexandra Rivas and Manny. The two of you have been married for 5 years. You do not want to be married anymore. Well, at least Ms. Rivas, you don't want to be married anymore. Mr. Sumpet, you are a little angry.
I'd like to save it. I'd like to save it.
You'd like to save it?
Yes.
And you're a little angry that she's given up on it so quickly?
Yes.
And we will talk about that momentarily. Ms. Rivas, why don't you start out by telling me how you've gotten to the point where you want to end this marriage?
Your Honor, it's not that I want to give up. It's that I've already made every effort. I'm the one that's moving forward, trying to progress this relationship, trying to progress our lives. Meanwhile, he stays around the house. He's complacent. I understand he works long hours, but that's a choice. He had the choice to either take up a promotion or continue what he's doing at work. And rather than take up the promotion that would pay the same amount of money and have him be home more often with his family, he'd rather keep doing the same thing where he's just constantly working, comes home, he's too tired to do anything with us. I'm working too, Your Honor. I've got a full-time job. I'm pursuing a graduate degree. He doesn't have any value for education. He's the kind of person that will take my laptop, he'll download porn on it, he slows down my laptop, so I can't get my homework in on time because I'm trying to go from one
too
program
much
to
porn
the next.
virus on
There's
there.
too much porn popping up, and
You
I'm
get
trying to kick
pop-ups
papers in.
and, you know. Now, Mr. Sumpet, let me ask you this. You're an armed car driver.
Yes.
Do you enjoy your job?
I do.
Isn't it okay for somebody to enjoy their job and not want to move up if they really enjoy what they're doing?
Yes, Your Honor, but he's got responsibilities. I mean, I have to work long hours. I do enjoy my job, but I'd rather spend more time with my family. We have a 7-year-old at home who needs attention. Does he not take that into consideration? Is
I like the
his
stability.
pleasure more important than taking
Well,
care
no, it's not pleasure for him. He likes that job. He's good at it. He does it. He enjoys it. It's a stable income. How is that being complacent? It's just satisfied.
Your Honor, he doesn't try anything different. I'm big on doing different things, growing. That's how people grow, is he's a scared person. They face their fears. So I'm out there volunteering. I invite him to come volunteering. He doesn't want to. So I sit down with him and I try to
Well, Ms.
figure out.
Rivas, let me ask you this. Who do you think you married? I mean, was he skydiving and jumping off mountains when you met him, or was he the same dude that he is today?
No, Your Honor, he's different at work. Him and I used to work at the same place, and he still is somebody that people respect at work. He's got that stoic look to him. I know you see him serious, and he's looking good now, but when we were married, he was not looking like this. He did not trim up
But did you see what you just told me? You told me he is positive and dynamic and in his element at his job.
At
and
work,
now
Mama.
you're at work, right. And now you're asking him to leave that job that he's dynamic in, positive, and enjoys and is steady, and you see the fact that he wants to keep that job as complacency and an inability to move. Do you see what I'm saying?
Your Honor, it's not that I want him to not keep his job. I just want him to move up. I'm moving up. As I progress in my education, I'm progressing at work. I'm taking on promotions. He's still doing the same thing he did in 2000. He's been offered a promotion as a supervisor. He said no, somebody else would be fit for that promotion. Who says something like that?
Somebody who's content.
Yes, Your Honor, but he wanted to have a family, and okay, if he liked his job back then and he was single and it fit his lifestyle, wonderful, but that's not the case anymore. He's got a family now.
Mr. Sumpet, when you two got married, did you have any conversations about what your life was going to be like and how your family was going to function?
I was always very supportive with Alexandra, and my thought process was if I had my job and to stick to being always doing what I'm doing and to provide for the house and, just keep everything intact, then she would be able to go through school, get her degree, and Just
Your Honor.
He's being an anchor to your kite.
Your
He is
Honor.
keeping you and the earth and the ground and stability together so you can fly as high as you want to and never be afraid that you're going to fall off the side of the mountain. How is that not a good thing?
Your Honor, he doesn't do anything. He does the same thing over and over. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He really is. He's a good guy. But that's the problem. He's just very comfortable. He
Your
needs
Honor.
to get out there. He needs to pursue an education. He needs to get out there and volunteer. He needs to explore the world. I don't want to live with someone who's
Once he
static.
gets to
You
worship-
know what? A marriage license is a marriage license. It's not a fix-a-dude kit. You don't get a guy that you kind of like and then chip away at him until he becomes the guy you really wanted to begin with. He is who he is, and he has a right to be who he is.
Well, that's fine, but I don't want him, Your Honor. I don't want to be with someone like that. I want somebody that's going to fly away with me, if that's how we're going to put this.
She got to where she is because I was able to provide a stable
home for her,
Yes.
and the children that allowed you to do
Your
all the
Honor.
things that you're doing.
I had options back then too. He makes it seem like he saved me, like he came in like Prince Charming and swept me off my feet and then took me to this magical castle. That is not how that happened.
A marriage is a give and take.
No. He
Once
makes
you
it
get
sound
to
like
where
he's
you're
so
at,
romantic.
then I can cut
Even
back
buy
on
an
Let me tell you
engagement
a
ring.
time.
story. I married an accountant. He was debiting and crediting. Back in 1987, he's still debiting and crediting. And when I ran for judge, he was debiting and crediting and say, hit that house, go, go, go. And then once I became a judge and television came along and said, listen, I got a steady gig, go ahead, take that try. He's still debiting and crediting, but look how high I flew. Mm-hmm. And I'm not asking him to get it, to become anything other than I like the cat that I got. And the fact that he wants to remain that dude is cool with me because I didn't buy a fix-a-dude. I bought the dude that I liked.
Well, that's not what I didn't get. What I saw, I thought he was something different. I thought.
Did he tell you something different?
No, Your Honor. He instead of actually helping around the house, he's constantly taking naps. That's his lifestyle. It's napping. It's working. It's maybe playing the occasional video game, and that's as exciting as it gets. He's cheap. I can't buy new furniture without his approval. Like, I mean, it's my house too. Why can't I just go buy what I want? No, I gotta have his approval. We had a joint account. We still have it, but he got smart. He went and got a debit card at work so that they deposit the money into his debit card. Doesn't want me to have access to it. He's like, well, now you're working full time. You've got your own money. So guess what? Now all the bills are laid on my plate. I've got to deal with that. And when I run out of money because one income is not enough, I've got to go ask him. I shouldn't have to ask him for money. He
I
should.
use that
He
account
knows.
for a
Mr. Sumpet,
backup.
I'm
knows what the
tired.
bills are.
I'm exhausted now, and I've only known her for 10 minutes. I don't know how you do it.
I do not want to clean the ferret
Yeah, I
droppings.
have to clean up the ferret poop.
Yeah, well, you wanted the ferret, so you're going to clean it up.
Mr. Sumpet found his words. Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Now, Mr. Sumpet, I was supportive of your desire to be content with who you are and where you are. Here's where my concern lies. She says that outside of that sphere, you're lazy and you don't contribute. And she finds your failure to be more of an integral part of the family makes her feel like she's not a priority or that your family's not a priority and you're not giving enough. Do you agree that you're a little bit on the lazy, lumpy couch side at home?
Well, I do work 12 hours a day, and when I come home, I do try to clean up. When I clean up the first floor, she doesn't appreciate it because she would make a point that the upstairs or the ferret droppings were not cleaned up, which I do not want to clean the ferret
Yeah,
droppings.
I have to clean up the ferret poop.
Well, you wanted the ferret, so you're going to clean it up.
No.
The ferret was for our son.
You're talking about Mr. Sumpet found his words. He most certainly did. 12 hours a day notwithstanding. You committed to a woman and you started a family. Don't you think that, and I'm not just talking about cleaning up, I'm talking, she feels unengaged, I think. I think she feels like it's like he works, he comes home, he sits on the couch, and she wants a more expansive, exciting life. Don't you think you could probably give that to her without having to change jobs, but changing your attitude outside of work?
Yes, I can. And, you know, I try to every now and then, but, you know, it's just very hard.
How do you try?
Ms. Rivas, I let you speak uninterrupted for a long period of
Sorry, Your Honor.
time. Go ahead, Mr. Sumpit.
So I would take her from, restaurants, like, well, not extravagant restaurants, but within our budget limit. That's what the other account was for, is because once we exhausted the account that we use for our bills, then every now and then we can, go out and have some fun. But, sometimes she just doesn't see that. And I feel unappreciated, so.
Is there anything Mr. Sumpit could do other than changing his gig that would make you want to re-engage in this marriage?
I want nothing to do with someone who's not willing to progress. You can't grow if you stay idle. He's not willing to explore new things. He says he takes me out to restaurants, large chain restaurants, and he considers that going out to a fancy restaurant. That's not okay. We can do better. It's like, that's why I'm working harder. That's why I'm pursuing a master's degree, so that we can elevate our situation, so that we can grow. But
Let me ask you what I asked him earlier. Do you believe you had a conversation with Mr. Sumpit as you were getting married or right before you got married, in which you discussed your desires and your thoughts and your ideas about what your family life would be like?
Maybe not specifically, Your Honor, but I think we did have a general discussion, and I think what happened was we both had our own perspective on it, and it just wasn't the same one. We're both on two different wavelengths, and we've grown way too far apart to ever come back together again. I'm not the same person I was when I married him, and he's still the same person, but I mean...
You made that eminently clear. He's still the same person and you don't want him. That part I got. That part I got.
And it's not like I'm going on like this, like I met someone, like he's making it sound like I have a boyfriend or something.
He showed me pictures of him working out with his back and tattoos.
I showed him a tattoo.
The fact that you're dating at all within the context of a marriage is a problem, just because you're not dating anyone steady. If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Sumpit, why don't you tell me about the school project that she engaged in that you think has culminated in the end of your marriage?
The online dating was supposed to be an experiment that she had came up with for her homework when she was studying sociology with human behavior, and she made 3 profiles for her friend, and myself. Mm-hmm. And she noticed that in time that she was getting hits from pretty good-looking guys, I guess you could say, and that's when she started putting distance to us. She started sleeping upstairs, and that's when she said that she just did not, like to share her personal space anymore, and she wasn't no longer attracted to me anymore.
Ms. Rivas, would you like to tell me your version of the sociology homework?
It was just a project, Your Honor. It was not a big deal. He says okay, so him and my friend weren't getting as much hits, but that's just the way it went. The experiment gave the results that were expected. And I think he just got jealous.
You took it too far.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Well, my understanding is you started dating guys on that were hitting you up on the site. Is that right?
No, not until after I told him. That's such no.
Hang on, Ms. Rivas. Ms. Rivas, talk to me. Is that accurate?
No, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Look, I just got to the point. This has been going on for a long time. This is not anything new. It's not like he's making it seem like it happened overnight.
I'm not asking you that. Tell me when you started dating the guys that you met on that website?
After I told him clearly I want nothing to do with him, I want a divorce, I've had it, it was my final straw, I wanted to move forward with my life. That's when
And
I
that
told
was
him.
how long ago?
That was late summer, like recently. It was maybe a month ago.
A month ago?
Yes. Yeah, just a month ago. I mean, and it's not like I'm going on like this, like I met someone, like he's making it sound like I have a boyfriend
He showed
or
me
something.
pictures of him working out with his back and tattoos
I
and
showed
stuff.
him a tattoo that just happened to be on a man's back, a
That you
very
took
elegant
out?
man's back.
Ms. Rivas, let me say this to you. You know, the fact that you're dating at all within the context of a marriage is a problem. Just because you're not dating anyone steady, it doesn't make it okay. When you're married, you're not supposed to date other people. Do you think you gave this marriage enough of a try? Did you do marriage counseling, anything like that?
We did, Your Honor. We did.
What
go to
happened
marriage.
with the marriage counseling?
The counselor asked us if we were both willing to contribute anymore, and I'm done. I'm fed up. I'm burnt out. I don't know what else to, you know.
Yeah, no, it's the end. It's over.
It's over. It is.
Did you
so
hear her,
over.
Mr. Sumpit?
I hear her loud and clear.
So yeah, that's why we're here. We want. This is not working. This is. I'm married to someone that I just.
Don't
wanna be
insult
with.
him anymore. We're all done with that. We're all done with that. Mr. Sumpit, I'm going to talk to you for a little while. I think you're a good guy. I think you are a little complacent. You're a little one note over there.
I got,
you know what I mean?
Stuck into like a routine, I suppose.
Yeah, and some people are like that. And some people are like that.
Stuck into the
Doesn't
rat
mean
race.
you're a bad person. And it doesn't mean you're less than. Just because it's not what she wanted, I certainly hope you don't think that you're less of a man or any less desirable or valuable. We're probably going to lose some toner on you, too. We're going to get a few people, you know, emailing us for your number. So I just don't want you to internalize what she's saying. And I want you to hear what I'm about to say about the whole thing.
Okay.
In divorce court, couples tell me everything about their relationships. Want to share your experience? Join the conversation on our Twitter page at Divorce Court. On Facebook, check out other fans and their intimate issues. You know everybody has something to say about love. What's on your mind? Mr. Stumpit, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. You know, you are the guy that you are. You enjoy who you are. And you make sure the next time you get somebody, you have a long conversation about who you are, what it is you want. Because you can find somebody that's willing to roll the way you roll. She just didn't happen to be the one. You made a bad pick. That's all that happened here. You picked the wrong woman. She wasn't down for the cause. She wasn't up for it. She wasn't, you know, So you move forward. And you know what? You should feel like your load is lightened when you leave here. You should feel like that you've cast off a dark cloud that has been following you about. I want you to feel like that you can leave here, enjoy your job and your time off and who you are and what you are, the way you want to be, without any judgment or constant commentary or somebody telling you you're not man enough and all of that nonsense. Ms. Rivas, I find you distasteful. I can even understand outgrowing somebody. That kind of happens to people sometimes. But your condescension is just oily and unctuous, and it makes me just want to leave. Good luck to you. This matter is adjourned. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot say this often enough. When you get married, you get the person you picked, not the one you hope they'll become. Whether you're a man or a woman, you can't decide that somebody's got to grow in a certain direction or become more like you or more like the man or the woman that you think they ought to be. They are the person that they are. They are the person you signed on to love, and you need to love them no matter what. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free